Continuing on with Sundry news for Tuesday, June 16th. Watch, police chief challenges Democrat mayor, says rapes, robberies occurring in Chaz with force unable to respond. Not surprising. See it. Nancy Pelosi gifts George Floyd's brother folded American flag. Outrage erupts online. I should hope so. It's just too much. Too far. Always take it too far. NYPD officers hospitalized after consuming drinks with toxic substance at a Shake Shack, reports say. Most likely bleach. Fucking despicable. Emmanuel Macron. France will not engage in false rewriting of history. No statues are coming down. Good for you, France. Thank you, Daily Wire. Are we? Yes, we are. The Daily Yahoo. Call me a snitch if you want. 911 dispatcher concerned about George Floyd's arrest. Records show. Okay. You can call me a snitch if you want. A 911 dispatcher in Minneapolis can be heard telling a supervisor during George Floyd's arrest, according to records released by the city. Okay. Cargo ship calls at Singapore hub plummet to 27-year low. Marine fuel sales fall. Cargo ship arrivals in Singapore, the world's top transshipment and bunkering hub, plummeted to their lowest in nearly 3 decades in May, while dragging sales of marine fuels to a 3-month low, official data showed. As the coronavirus panic hit global trade, the number blah 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 blah. Coronavirus, AstraZeneca in vaccine talks with Japan, Russia, Brazil, and China. Pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca in talks with 4 more nations to supply potential COVID-19 vaccine. Australia seeks to engage China over actor sentenced to death. Australia is seeking to engage China over the case of Carm Gillespie, an Australian man sentenced to death for drug trafficking, Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Monday, amid escalating tensions between the countries. Diplomatic tensions between Beijing and Canberra became frayed after Australia said something about China covering up, the coronavirus stuff. Kind of called him out about it. How to think about what's happening in the stock market right now. So Yahoo Finance is going to tell me how to think. Stocks have surged from their March lows, driven by a confluence of factors. Allianz's Mohammed El Arian walks us through what's going on. Okay. Coronavirus. House prices jump in England as estate agents overwhelmed. Rightmove saw its busiest days ever in May and June as the property market has reopened and house moves increased in England. Isn't that a good thing? Featured. Families are creating the ultimate staycations. From backyard theme parks to garage jungle gyms, families are taking summertime fun back from COVID-19 and straight into their very own hands. Okay. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's Yahoo Search again. Trending now, Black Lives Matter. Vanessa Hudgens. If so many people are searching Black Lives Matter, why do they still have so much traction? Because if you actually research them and you see what they stand for, you would find that it's not just about Black lives being important. That's not even close to everything that it is. Vanessa Hudgens, coronavirus. Jennifer Connelly, blockchain technology. Senior apartments rent. William Shatner. Natalie Emanuel, Elephant Insurance. Aisha D. Okay. 1440. Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 16th, and we're following a huge day at the Supreme Court. Need to know. LGBTQ protections upheld. The Supreme Court ruled yesterday the Civil Rights Act of 1964 bars workplace discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. The pivotal decision extends protections to gay and transgender employees under the law's Title VII provisions, specifically its inclusion of sex as a protected class. 3 cases were under consideration, including the firing of a Clayton County, Georgia child welfare worker who joined and promoted a gay softball league. He alleges he was subsequently criticized by the community and fired under false pretenses. The arguments were the highest profile LGBTQ cases in front of the court since its 2015 ruling legalizing same-sex marriage. Justice Neil Gorsuch delivered the majority opinion, joining Chief Justice John Roberts and the court's 4 liberal justices. The decision employed a but-for test, meaning discrimination would not have occurred if the subject had been of the opposite sex, in reaching its conclusion. Read the full opinion here. The court also declined to hear a bevy of gun rights cases, making it more than a decade since a major Second Amendment case was argued, and turned down a Trump administration challenge to California's sanctuary city laws. Boo. Finally, the court also declined to review the precept of qualified immunity, which can shield government officials, including law enforcement, from prosecution. See background on the legal doctrine here. Why are they declining so much? The 2021 Oscars delayed. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences said yesterday it would delay the 2021 Academy Awards by 8 weeks, citing the effect of the pandemic on the film industry. The ceremony will now be held, the effect of the panic on the film industry, my bad. The ceremony will now be held April 25th. As Hollywood's most prestigious award, Oscar eligibility typically ends December 31st of the previous year. Consideration for feature films this year will extend to February 28th, 2021. So that would seem to just mean that there will be a shorter time to be considered for the 2022 Oscars. A large number of blockbusters have been pushed to the fall. Daniel Craig's final James Bond film, No Time to Die, was one of the first to be delayed, disrupting the long-term planning of release dates. With studios scheduling around big-budget releases in the holiday calendar, some fear delays could cause a glut of marquee films in early 2021. Other studios are opting to forego theatrical releases, like Tom Hanks's Greyhound, which will head straight to Apple TV. At least one high-end estimate suggested the global film industry could lose $160 billion in growth over 5 years due to the panic. Emergency use approval pulled. The Food and Drug Administration revoked its emergency authorization of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine for treatment of COVID-19, saying the antimalarial drugs were unlikely to be effective and could result in harmful side effects. A number of world leaders, including President Trump, touted the drugs on the heels of anecdotal reports that they reduced symptoms in some severe COVID-19 patients. As clinical work advanced, research on HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, including randomized controlled trials, the gold standard in such studies, showed no benefits in treating COVID-19 symptoms. Did these people have severe symptoms? Studies of its ability to prevent infection or symptoms also came up short. However, communication of the results were obscured by 2 separate high-profile retractions that came after data from the studies could not be verified. Scientists say the retractions should not invalidate the conclusion that the drugs are not useful in the fight against the coronavirus. A short summer from Vuori. Ah, the great outdoors! How we've missed it! And as the weather outside starts to take a turn for the sunny, we could all get back in an exercise routine. And what better way to do it than with Vuori? They bring you versatile shorts and loungewear pants that'll have you jumping jacks for joy. Take, for example, their men's Banks shorts, made from recycled plastic bottles. They're quick-drying, anti-odor, and have 4-way stretch. They're ultra comfortable and perfect for running, yoga, swimming, or a good workout. Or they're women's Tavi shorts, just like the Banks shorts, but with a shorter inseam. Enjoy some supreme comfort all summer long. Interested in either of the above, or just want to take a look at the wide range of high-quality pants and shorts offered by Vuori? Check them out today for 20% off your first purchase. Visit their site here. Please support our sponsors. In the know, sports, entertainment, and culture. Rapper Drake leads all artists with 6 nominations for the 2020 BET Awards, which will be simulcast on CBS for the first time. WNBA announces it will play a shortened season in Florida in July. Players will receive full salaries. MLB commissioner unsure if 2020 season will take place as negotiations with players continue. New Orleans Saints safety Malcolm Jenkins hired as CNN contributor on social justice issues. Oh, brother. Oh, what's your qualification? Oh, I'm black. Yeah, I'm guessing. Running back Ezekiel Elliott among Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans players that test positive for COVID-19. Science and technology. 50-million-year-old insect fossil suggests an unexplained migratory link between prehistoric Canada and Australia, despite no known land connection with the continent during that time period. Study finds drugs that promote a healthier microbiome also help prevent atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up on artery walls, establishes a link between gut bacteria and high blood pressure. Senator Josh Hawley, Republican, Missouri, to introduce legislation making Section 230 protections, which shield internet tech companies from liability for user-posted content, contingent on ending many types of micro-targeted ads. Business and markets. 6 eBay executives arrested for cyberstalking and harassing journalists who criticized the e-commerce platform in an online newsletter. U.S. stock markets erase early slump and up. S&P 500 up 0.8%, Dow up 0.6%, NASDAQ up 1.4% as Federal Reserve announces it will purchase U.S. corporate bonds. World's second largest fashion retailer, H&M, sees quarterly revenues drop 50%. Gym chain 24 Hour Fitness files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy to close 100 of approximately 400 locations. Politics and world affairs. Federal authorities to review the separate hanging deaths of 2 black men in Southern California. Local officials have thus far ruled each death a suicide. And honestly, they probably are. President Trump expected to sign executive order on police reform today. Beijing reports nearly 80 new locally transmitted coronavirus cases following 2 months without any new cases. Officials worry cluster could catalyze larger outbreak. U.S. reports 2.1 million new cases with 116,127 deaths as of this morning. See 3-day moving average. North Korea destroys an inter-Korean liaison office as tensions between the 2 countries rise. Move comes as nuclear talks with the U.S. stall. In depth. Jon Stewart returns. New York Times. 5 years after walking away from his run as host of The Daily Show, one of the most popular cable television shows at the time, Jon Stewart returns ahead of his new film, Irresistible. The timing couldn't be better for someone who thrives on political and social satire. A reckoning for Refinery 29, from CNN. Once one of the fastest-growing media companies in the U.S., Refinery 29 built its brand under the premise of diversity, inclusion, and empowerment. That was until last week when a simple, and what critics would deem superficial, statement of solidarity with nationwide protests inspired an internal revolt. Oh my goodness, you just weren't woke enough, were you? The world's most comfortable shorts. No one beats Vuori when it comes to comfortable and versatile shorts. Check them out today for men's Banks shorts with 4-way stretch, women's Tabby shorts that are so comfortable you'll never want to take them off. Head on over to their site and take 20% off today. Please support our sponsors. Etc. Visualizing the racial wealth gap by asset class. Ugh. This animation shows how quickly the COVID-19 death toll racked up. More and more newspapers. That's because, you know what? That's because I'm pretty sure the United States was a pretty unhealthy country in general. So you get a virus that exacerbates your already existing health problems, and it's not going to go well. More and more newspapers are cutting mugshot galleries. Okay. So that people will not discriminate against criminals. Okay. From our partners. Or so that people won't notice that the majority of criminals are still black. You need to work on yourself. Don't expect everybody. You shouldn't be able to expect everybody to just go easy on you. You need to work on yourself, work on your own families. From our partners, Udemy is the leading online learning marketplace, offering over 150,000 courses from over 60,000 instructors. Check out boot camps for MBAs, Python, financial analysis, and so many more. Start learning now. Ranking the most expensive countries in the world. Spies can now eavesdrop by monitoring a light bulb's vibrations. Wow. Bored and furloughed, woman hatches 3 ducks from supermarket eggs. Hummingbirds can see colors we can't even imagine. Really? Watch a captivating starling murmuration. Clickbait. This cat can be seen from space. History book. Economist Adam Smith born, 1723. First roller coaster opens in Coney Island, New York, 1884. Ford Motor Company is incorporated, 1903. Valentina Tereshkova becomes the first woman in space, 1963. Rapper Tupac Shakur born, 1971. The seed must grow regardless of the fact that it's planted in stone, Tupac Shakur. I believe that's scientifically inaccurate, but I gotcha. Thank you, 1440. Anybody watching this, please subscribe.